Welcome to the video, everybody. I am one day out from my competition. It is tomorrow morning. Now in this video we're going to go over my openers. I'm really excited to go through it with you, and let's get into that video now. Okay, so I'm going to explain in this video what are openers and what the competition entails for powerlifting. But before I do that, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching. I've seen consistent comments from certain people. Jonathan Gray, I know he has his own YouTube channel and his own Instagram. And so thank you to you. And thank you to everyone who's spent the time to come and watch my videos. I don't have thousands of views and thousands of followers, but that doesn't matter to me. If one person can watch a video and take something from it, then I've done my job, or I feel like I've helped, and that's why the videos are there. So a big thank you to everybody. I really do appreciate it. Now, let's get into what the competition is going to entail and why we're doing these openers. But first, you might be a little confused. I've said one day out, but the title of this video is 1 week out. Now that's because the openers I'm going to show you were done on Monday, technically 5 or 6 days out, so you know, a week, and that's why it's gone from 9 weeks all the way down to 1 week out. Anyway, that being said, so what's going to happen with the competition is I'm in the 93 kilogram weight class. Therefore, at 1 o'clock on Saturday, I'm going to go in and I'm going to be weighed, and I have to be under 93 kilograms. I can't be 93, I can't be 93.1, I have to be under. So that's first things first. And I'm doing a bit of a water cut at the moment. If you want to know more about that, comment below. I'm only doing a slight one because of my ileostomy, and I'm listening to what my coach says, and he obviously doesn't want to do anything extreme. Okay, so that's what's going to happen at first, and then in the competition I'm going to warm up, and what you do is you do the squat first, you do the bench, and you do the you do the squat first, the bench, and then the deadlift. Now you don't do literally like 1 rep, 1 rep, 1 rep. You have the squat event, and then you could look at it like that, and then the bench, and then the deadlift event. In each lift you have 3 goes at your attempts, and you always go up. So for example, you're going to go and do the squat, you do 100 kilograms as your opener, then you think that went quite well, I didn't get red lighted for depth, then you go to 105, great, that went well, and then you want to aim for something you can hit for the third time, something that's maybe 102%, or that might be 100% for you, and you go for it, and sometimes maybe you don't hit depth and you get a red light, or you hit it and you get 110 kilograms PR, well done. Then you move on to the next one, you start warming up for the bench, and so on, and that's how it goes. So I'm not going to get into the rules of the lights, but really, simply put, on the squat, you have to squat it down to depth and then back up. And when I go through the videos, I'll go through some of the commands actually. So we'll do that there. Now, the competition is going to be quite long, but I'm really excited for it. Now, the openers are really important, and that's what I'm going to go over with you today. So on Monday, I went through, on each one of those lifts, I went up from like 50%, warmed up to about 70%, then did 80%, and then we looked at how that moved, and then we guessed, well, I think you should either do 90% or maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Depending on how the 80s and 85s move, that dictates what you're going to do on the platform as your first lift. Because if you don't lift very well in the back room, then you need to change your numbers for the platform. Because if you can't pause the bench on your back warm up in the back room because it's too heavy, then you're going to have to put it down. So let's get into the actual openers. And let's see what I'm actually going to be lifting as my first lift, hopefully, in this event. All right, everybody. So this is the squat warm-up, 160 And I've got my SBD sleeves on now. I'm in the full gear, like I'm in a singlet. I've got the right socks on. I've got all of my gear prepped. This is exactly what I'd be wearing on the day because all of your equipment has to be IPF approved, and all this equipment is. So that was an easy 160 for 2. This is my 170. I got a bit amped up. I really want to get some new shoes, so I'm like all in black. But on the last clip, which will be my opener, I'm going to leave the volume as it would be because I want you to hear the commands. So I need to be told to rack it, and you have to rack it. You're going to hear the commands being shouted. So here's my 182.5 kg opener, which is more, it's more than I did previously as my opener. My old opener was 176.5. So you can already tell where I'm going to start. Now, I'm going to look at Jay, I'm going to nod, look up, and he's going to tell me squat, hit depth, stand up, then I have to wait for the rack command. And that is the squat, done, 182.5. Moving swiftly on to the bench press. Sorry. So, another warm up here. This would be done in the back room, but I still want the commands of Jay, that's why he stood there. 112.5 kg, not a ridiculous amount, but something I should still want to pause. So there's my pause. It's moving well. I have no issues. I don't wear a belt when I do my bench presses, but everything I'm thinking about right now is, the commands, right? Lift off, right? Okay, my bar. Then I'm waiting for the start command. I start. I wait for the press command, and I press. And then I wait for the rack, and I rack. So the bench is probably the most complicated lift, 1 to do, and 2 to listen to. So 125 kg is my opener, and you'll be able to hear the music and the amped upness of the gym and the gym environment. Paul does get in the way. So listen out for the commands, and listen to watch how long the pause is for this. Jay gives me a really long pause. So that press is a lot longer than the previous one. And the reason why is so that he knows Joe's got the strength to get this up no matter what. And finally, deadlifts. Love deadlifts. 157.5 kg, warm up. There's going to be 4 lifts here. And I'm using my hook grip. I've got actual shoes on, if you can see. I bought them from Sports Direct. They're like Converse knockoffs. And they feel pretty good. But yeah, I've got Jay eating his lunch. And this is 170. And everything felt really good this day. You can see I've rolled them socks up now to protect my shins. It's a part of the regulations to cover up your shins because they don't want blood on the bar, so on. So 190, remember I did this for a double, so this should fly up quite easily. So this is not my opener. I thought 195 would be my opener, if I'm completely honest, but because of this moving like that, we upped the opener to 200 kilograms, which was my finishing lift on the deadlift in my last comp. Not sanctioned comp, which is what I'm going to do now. So, as you can see, there's no trouble there with that. Yeah, it's a little slow off the ground, but no trouble at all. Back to Joe in the kitchen. So there we have it, all done. There's nothing left to do. On Monday, I did my openers. I know what I'm going to be going in to try and hit for my first lift. And knowing that I can hit those easily, because watching those videos I had no trouble. And the next day I wasn't dying or anything. And my muscles weren't too bad. So I feel good and I feel confident. And that's what an opener should do. It should give you confidence to go in and hit it. And then come out and then play around. It'd be great to go 9 for 9. And I'm sorry I didn't actually go. I didn't go over the rules for the lights. Quickly, I'll go over them. So for the squat, if you miss one of the commands, you can get lighted. That's on all of the lift. But the squat, the command is you take it off and walk back. You look at them. They say squat. You squat down, and then you come back up. If you there's 3 judges, 1 in front of you and 2 at the sides on all of your lifts, and if you don't hit depth from this angle, you might get 1 red light, but these 2 might think you're in, so you get white lights. If you get 3 red lights, that's it, you're done. If you get 2 red lights, that's it, you're done. But if you get 1 red light, then you're okay, because it's 2 to 1, 2 to 1 of the judges. The bench, if you also if the bar moves down at any point, so if you've squatted down and then it kind of does this at any point, it's a non-lift. If you stand it up and you're just shaking all over the place and you step in the squat, that's a non-lift. Stuff like that. I'll leave the rules linked down below. But for bench, if you just don't pause and you just bounce it off your chest, no lift. If you rack it before they tell you to rack it, like, no lift. The deadlift's pretty simple. You basically pick it up and stand there until they tell you to put it down, and they just say down. If you put it down before they say, then no lift. And if they say down and you go bloop and drop it and be like ugh, and let the weight slam down, you've not put it down controlled, no lift. Your hands have to be still on the bar as it touches the ground. Okay, so there are the rules. So I'm prepared, I'm ready. I did go in on Wednesday and did deload, so I just did the same movements but light weights and nothing else. I did have a bit of a shoulder niggle after it, like I had a bit of a pain in my shoulder, but I'm trying not to think about it. I used some Voltarol, like ibuprofen gel, rub that in, and then I've done some mobility. It's just, I think because I didn't warm up enough. As you can see, this gym is a warehouse kind of setup, so it's not always dead warm, and I should have spent more time warming up. But I don't think it's an injury, it's just like a little ache, niggle thing. And I don't want to pay it too much attention because the comp's tomorrow and nothing's going to stop me from doing the best I can. So, that's the video, that was loud. That's the video, everybody. Thank you for watching, thank you for following along.